Call the Russell Springs City Council regular monthly meeting to order July 13th, 2017, 6 p.m. First item of business is the acceptance of June 8th minutes. As usual, everyone has a copy of those minutes.
I make a motion we accept them as written. I done read mine, I don't know about you guys.
Everyone had them, I think, delivered to them on Tuesday, so should have had an opportunity to read over.
That's right.
Motion has been made. Do I hear a second? Second. All those in favor signifying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item of business is payment of the bills. Those have been laid out also on the table. Anyone have any questions or comments regarding payment of the bills?
Make a motion, we pay the bills.
Motion has been made to pay the bills. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Second has been made. All those in favor signifying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item of business is old business. I don't have anything. There's nothing on the agenda regarding old business. Does anybody, any of the council have anything they want to bring up under old business? Hearing none, we will move to new business. First item under new business is Resolution 2017-04. Adoption of the Lake Cumberland Area Development District Regional Hazard Mitigation Plan 5-year update. You had a copy of that also in your packet. That is basically the same thing that the county done this week also. Just some housekeeping and things that we need to do to be in our capacity as a municipality. Anyone have any questions or comments regarding that? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to accept Resolution 2017-04.
Make a motion to accept resolution 2017-04.
Motion has been made. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor signifying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item of business is not on your agenda as usual. I always like to add a few things, keep everybody on their toes. I have spoke to Joe Michael Urban, Chief Urban, in regards to possibly adding another officer to our police department. Me and him have spoke quite a bit in the last couple of weeks, I guess, hasn't it been, Joe?
Yes.
And I actually had him to come and speak to you all. I think he's got a hold of everybody. I do not have the authority to hire a police officer. That would be creating a position. I do not have the authority to create a position. That authority is the council's authority. But I think it's a much needed. We have 9 officers currently. The city of Russell Springs is growing, and I think it's much needed that we hire or look to hire another police officer for city of Russell Springs. That police officer can be in part paid with alcohol money. I'm not saying that it will be paid in full in alcohol money, but in part it can be paid with some alcohol money. So the floor is open for discussion. It's my recommendation that the council would approve to hire an additional police officer for the city of Russell Springs.
So we're planning on getting one more besides the one that's getting ready to retire,
Well,
maybe?
there will be an additional officer, yes.
Well, have you got a committee, have you done screened applications?
We have not done anything, no, sir.
We have to approve him. We
Yes.
have to approve
After the council,
yes.
after the council gives the authority to create another position as a police officer,
Oh, okay.
then me and Joe Michael will sit down, we'll go through applications, and then I will hire a police officer
Can we
with your
afford,
all's.
have we got the money? I mean, can we,
I think the city of Russell Springs can afford another police officer. In my opinion,
Full-time
yes.
position.
Yes, ma'am.
Looking over the report, it looks like they're pretty busy all the time, so.
They are at times that we need a lot of times some of the officers are in court. It leaves the city with one officer. And like I said, City of Russell Springs is growing. Whether everybody wants to admit it or not, Russell Springs is growing. And with growth, you have other things to go along with it, so. It just,
Also, some of them, they got enough time in, they've got extended vacations now compared to like one that's just started. That has to be covered.
We can use some of the alcohol money,
we
a
can
pretty
use,
large portion
we
of
can
it.
use a part of alcohol money. Don't know to what dollar amount, but we can use part of alcohol money to help fund the position.
Then I'm in favor of it myself.
Would you want to put that in a form of a motion?
Yes.
A motion has been made to create another position for a full-time police officer for the city of Russell Springs. Do I hear a second?
I second.
All those in favor signifying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We will work on that in the next week or two. Me and Joe Michael will get together and go through some applications and see what we can come up with, and then we will be in contact with the council. We have some visitors who, I don't know what, everybody know what one is here for, but I don't know what some of the others, whoever wants to go first. Alan, if you want to go first, will be fine. However, if you would, just state your name and what.
Alan Lawson, and I represent Lake Country Outdoors Valero. I'd like to bring up the topic of Sunday sales, okay? Looking at it from a business standpoint, there's 53 Sundays in 2017, okay? I took my average daily alcohol sales, divided it by 6, and took 15% off that number. By not allowing Sunday sales in Russell Springs, I'm losing $79,500 a year in the store I'm operating. That comes to about $4,700 in taxes that Russell Springs could be getting. I don't know what everybody's basing opinions on, but the public voted the county wet. And if we're supporting the majority of the people, it seems like we would be a little more open to looking at that from a business standpoint. I've heard some people talk about, I'm a Christian. I've had people talk, members of the church or things of that nature, and I understand that. But, on the other hand, what if you're a 7-day Adventist? We're selling it on Saturday. I would just ask that everyone put a personal opinion aside and look at the financial gain for the city and the financial gains. Not to mention that I'm looking at about a 2% negative sales decrease on Sundays, and it's because my customers are going to Jamestown. So, I think that would be something that the council should consider.
Any of the council have any opinions or questions or comments? Of course, a few months ago, we did have a ordinance prepared, and I'm sure you're aware of that, and the ordinance failed. And I'd said then, and I'll say it again, if the council deems to want another ordinance prepared, we will have another ordinance prepared, and we will bring it to a vote again. That is totally up to the council. Understand? But it did fail, as you well know, 4-2 in favor of it. Of course, everyone is also aware that the city of Jamestown is selling on Sunday, and the county is not.
You know, my concern, I'm 55 years old. I can't go out in the job market and just get a job anywhere. I'm where I'm going to retire from. I only do as good for my family as the store does for the owners. So, you know, again, I understand religious points and views and all of that, but, you know, we're in a city and a county where the majority of the people voted. So I'm just trying to understand how the council members can come to the conclusion that we shouldn't, when the majority of the people you're supporting voted the county with. And so, you know, I'm not trying to be a butt. I'm just, you know, I'm trying to understand it. I lost my father at 52 years old because he was an alcoholic. I'm 55. I'm not an alcoholic. People make their own choices.
Have you talked to any of the other business owners as far as the loss
Well,
of
there's
their?
supposed to be some of the other store managers here tonight, but I don't know if I have any here. I've not met a couple of them.
I'm Danny Smith, I'm with
Okay.
Kroger.
Nice to meet you, Danny.
So, would you like to
I would just
speak,
say,
or?
You know, every business owner looks, in a company as well too, looks at return on investment. And I think the business owners in the city obviously have put investment in it. And we haven't been able to get the potential out of it so far because of Sunday sales. From my company, Sunday is our biggest sales day of the week. So the Kroger Company's biggest sales day, we're not offering that for sale at this point.
And they'll go to Dollar Market down in Jamestown.
And we see it, and we have for almost a year now. People come in and try to purchase, they ask questions why we don't, and it's there. We're losing it to other folks around us, that's obvious. The council can see the numbers, you know what the numbers are. Kind of like what he did, you do some simple math, and you can figure it pretty close to what we're losing. So I would say too, look at it again and see if it isn't a return on investment. You know, that's what we're all looking for.
Exactly.
We put the money in already. We're out there. We've invested in the city. We're just trying to provide what our customers want.
May help pay for that extra officer.
And I didn't know they were coming, I don't know.
Well, I vote on it again. It's okay with me.
Well, no, we have to have an ordinance prepared, and of course, like any other ordinance, have to be prepared, and then a first reading and a second reading would be the order that would have to be in. I mean, like I said, you know, we can have a simple ordinance prepared,
Very quickly.
yes, if that's the wishes of the council. Like I said, that's your all's choice, but yes, I can have an ordinance prepared.
Well, you said on the mayor's moment you were gonna bring it back up to a vote after the election,
After which election?
after the council election, you had made that comment, you know, that probably.
We'll bring it up.
Might
Yeah, I
have
mean,
a new-
that's fine.
Might have a new council. That's
We'll-
what we was
we'll-
hoping.
Bring it up. I mean, we.
We'll bring it up. I'll be glad to have Matthew to prepare an ordinance.
Go ahead, I guess.
All I've got to do is change the ordinance number,
Just change the dates and stuff.
At,
so I can have it whenever you want to take it up.
we need to have some type of guidelines or criteria that's on it. Or we stay with what we originally had back from the first ordinance, as far as time frames and where it to be sold and how it to be sold, whether it be by the drink, by the package, whatever. By the 55-gallon drum, I guess. But I mean, that's your all's choice.
I have a question. It's such a highly charged emotional issue, and people are so passionate about it, either for or against. Is this not something that could be put on the ballot and let the voters decide, and then we don't have all the
Voters already
pressure on us?
decided we wanted to do this.
No, they didn't.
No,
It didn't
they-
say in there, do you want to go with Monday through Saturday?
Hey, I'll
And it
stand,
didn't.
wait just a minute, it was voted over countywide, but when we had the last election, the four that voted against it was the top four getters in the city of Russell Springs. So I mean,
That's
just
why
put it
I'm
to
saying,
vote again,
put it
see
to
what
vote.
happens.
Yeah.
Be fine, man.
I don't have a problem with it either.
Me neither. Go ahead and bring it up to next meeting.
We will,
But the way, when we originally went
Oh,
for
yeah,
alcohol
first
sales
alcohol
in
sales,
Russell
it wasn't
County,
so.
we were not eligible for Sunday sales at that time when it passed. Because of the size of our community until the bourbon thing passed. Is that right, Jeremy?
no,
We were eligible, we could have
Yes.
Sunday sales, our county, our
Yes.
city?
We couldn't have a bar.
Okay.
yes,
Sunday shows vote. Unless some of the mindsets have changed, there's no point.
Well, bring it up. I mean, you never can tell. I mean, if they want to bring it, I mean, there, you got people wanting to bring it up to a vote, bring it up.
I would urge every one of you guys to go out in public.
That's what we
Listen
do.
more than a
We-
certain group. I understand, I'm not saying I know what you do, I'm just talking. I mean, I would urge you to get out and stand in my store and ask 10 out of 20 customers what they think.
I try to vote what the majority of the city wants, is what I try to do. I honestly do. And I talk to people, and I'm sure the rest of them probably do too, and that's the way I try to vote.
I understand.
And our cell phone numbers and our email addresses are on the Duo.
Right, but
You
your
do
average
think-
person's not gonna bother to get, I mean, the average person out there is not gonna bother to get a hold of you. But if you're in my store and you're asking questions, they're gonna give you an answer.
I mean, I would invite anybody to call or.
That's me. If the average person wants to call me, I'll do just like I did last time, you know,
Me too.
on the no smoking stuff. I mean, I'll take what the majority wants.
So they need to call you and give you their opinion instead of you going out in public and finding out what their opinion is.
Well, I mean, they can come here to the meeting if they want to voice their
I
opinion.
understand that.
I mean, you're one, and there are probably a million, or not a million, there are probably 20,000 people in this county, Russell County, you know, and you're one. I'm not gonna go to 19,999 and ask them what their opinion is.
I understand. You might go there when you want to vote, so.
Well, I do, and that's what I'm doing. I'm voting what the people told me when I was
Okay,
campaigning.
I just said it'd be a good thing if you went out into the businesses and asked
Yeah.
random people, so I think would be.
I run a business in the city too, and the mayor does, so,
I
you
understand.
know, people comes to us in our store.
So is it the wishes of the council to have a ordinance prepared for a vote for, council to vote for Sunday sales? We will work on a,
I'll have that ready whenever there's another meeting.
okay, whether it be a special call or
Just whatever you.
the next meeting that we have, it will be there for a first reading, and then the following meeting will be a second reading, and then the council will vote.
And John, why don't you put a poll in the paper?
Sure can. I can work with somebody, I don't know, I mean, if you want somebody to work with the city on coming up with a poll, or just, you know, something flat out. or-
Something real informal, you know, it doesn't have to be a
And have
scientific
them call
poll.
the mayor, or what?
Yeah.
Have them mail it in,
Have them
or
to
what?
call them.
Mail it in.
We don't want them to call there of us.
Mail it in.
It needs to be just
Mail it
city,
in or drop it off at City Hall, and then we can look at it.
Social
it needs to be
media.
just city residents though.
Yes.
So we know what's county.
Yeah, okay, that's true.
We will prepare an ordinance.
And it has to be city residents, I mean, you know, that we're interested in what they want.
We have another guest, Mr. Chintu Patel. A lot of you have heard a lot of things about Chintu. We've been working with him, what, Jeremy?
January, February.
Yeah. We've come a long way. So, I would like to turn the floor over to Mr. Patel. If you would just sort of brief the council and the media where we're at, what basically from day one, if you will,
Yep.
till present, what your plans are, what the future, you hope the future is going to be for not only yourself, but for the city of Russell Springs.
Sure.
So the floor is yours. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, everyone. I don't know how much you guys know about me and how it's all started, but I own and operate Subway in Russell Springs since 2009. And my partner basically runs the operation, day-to-day operation. He used to live in Russell Springs, Jinal Patel, and now he lives in Lexington. I've been in business since 2001. On and off, I own and operate 130 businesses in 17 years. And on and off, I have about 300 plus employees currently that my organization has. We have right now about 60 locations that we operate in 2 states, Kentucky and Indiana. That includes 5 franchise restaurants, different type of restaurant. Major is the Subway. I own and operate about 36 Subway restaurants. Then we have Fazoli, Wingstop, Corner Bakery, cafes like Panera Bread. We own and operate about 20 plus hotels, majority in Oklahoma City. Most of them has been built in last 5 years. I personally own and operate 3 hotels in Indianapolis. And I also have 4 convenience store and gas station. Out of that, 2 is a truck stop that been built brand new. I have experience building hotel and gas station and restaurant from ground up. I visited Russell Springs probably back in January or February, and we were just talking, actually, I and my partner and my wife, and it just came to our knowledge that there is not a single franchise hotel in Russell County. And I always been a very big fan of hotel. That's how I started my life as a business person, operating a hotel for my uncle in Oklahoma City. He owns and operates 50 plus hotels, pretty much Hilton, Holiday Inn, and Marriott brands. Those are the top 3 brands worldwide. And he's been in business for 40 years, so I always wanted to grow in hotel, but then I ended up going in restaurant. So we were just talking, and then I had something to do with the First National Bank, so we stopped by there, and I ended up meeting Eric Wives there, and we just started talking, and she mentioned to me that, because when I mentioned about hotel, I said I would love to look into the hotel to build here, because I'm, my goal as when I started my business, I always wanted to build my own Hampton Inn or Holiday Inn Express. I believe those are the top 2 brands worldwide in hotels. So I always have that dream, and it's very hard to get those brands because it's all taken, pretty much, So I was talking with Eric's wives, and she asked me to go and see him. So we just, called him, and he was available, so we went and see him and start the conversation. And then he talks about the city land, and this is all where it's all started, the conversation about the building the hotels. And since then I've been working on this whole project, building the hotel, and then I also wanted to bring other business, because wherever I go I normally try to bring a larger development, not just only one project. So we start talking, we looked at the dynamic and the lands acquisition and all of that. So right now I have pretty much 35-acre land under contract to be closed in 90 days, right off of the Cumberland Parkway, which is Kim and Donald Gosage land. And then we're also talking to purchase the city land, and then we're gonna build. Actually today I have finalized my layout for the hotel and for my truck stop with my civil engineer. But my challenge is, as until yesterday, was nobody's taking me as a developer seriously until I really own the land. And I can prove it that I have all this land and I'm ready to start the project. Because I reached out to Hilton. The guy from Hilton came and visited Russell Springs, and Eric and Jeremy have spent 4 or 5 hours to kind of give him the tour of the city and the Jamestown, marina and all that, so he understands, because Hilton is the number one pretty much brand for my views, and I wanted to start building Hampton Inn or Holiday Inn Express. So I wanted to convince him that, they should consider giving me an opportunity to build one of their brand. Because any of those brands, when they approve, they do their own due diligence to make sure that their brand does not fail. So he was pretty impressed, and then I also wanted to bring a dining restaurant, because one of the requests I've been asked from Hilton to have a sit-down restaurant for their guest who comes to stay in the hotel. They want to like to have a development together. They just don't want to approve the hotel just stand alone, because they want to feed their customer with a nice restaurant, a franchise restaurant like Chili's or Applebee's or any steakhouse or something like that. So then I start looking, bigger, larger project, that what other needs Russell County or Russell Spring has. That's all I want to bring to my project. So right now, we are planning to pretty much build the hotel with a restaurant in the same parking lot of the hotel, and then the truck stop. Not the typical truck stop that you guys see is with Pilot or Lowe's. I want to try to build a truck stop that family can come and sit down in the restaurant that I will bring to my truck stop, and I have a good experience. I just don't want to bring the truck stop that everybody has an impression about bringing the other activities with it. I don't have that plan at all. I'm just bringing truck stop. I'm not a big fan of truck stop, but just I find there is a need of having a truck stop with the large industrial park you guys have. So I'm doing a very small scale truck stop with bringing pretty much Fazoli and Dunkin' Donut on the same building that I will have my convenience store. That's the layout that I'm preparing right now. I'm a franchisee of Dunkin' Donut. I own and operate Dunkin' Donut for the last 7 years. And my partner is a franchisee of Fazoli. So where we stand today, we had a meeting. I had a meeting with First National Bank. We're trying to do this project in a community. So we're trying to get the financing from the local banks. And First National Bank shows a very high interest to finance the project. So today, we have discussed to go ahead and acquire the land and then work on the project, because whenever I send an application to finalize my deal with Hilton or Hampton Inn or Holiday Inn Express or Chili's or Applebee's, they all want to see the deed of the land before they sign off on the franchise agreement. So I realized that nobody will step forward to do anything unless and until I own the land. So that's the direction I'm going. I'm going to go ahead and acquire the land that I have under contract with Kim and Donald, and then also going to acquire the land that I've been talking with city to purchase their land. Overall, in a big picture, I have planned to develop in a phases. My first phase will be either start the hotel together with the truck stop, or start building the hotel first, and once I finish the hotel, then do the truck stop. And then on the phase 3, 4, and 5, I'll be doing some apartments, assisted living center, some other recreational, like kind of children, type of, sports activity type of thing, like Chuck E. Cheese or those type of, things which I don't have experience, but I'm looking and meeting with other developer who has experience bringing those concepts. But that's where we are stand right now, is I will own all this land pretty much in next 60 days, or maybe early. I bring my uncle from Oklahoma City to be a part of this project now. As I said, he owns and operates about 40 plus hotel. I have experience managing restaurants, hotel, convenience stores. So, I'm hoping pretty good development to happen in Russell Spring in next future. And just so you guys know, I'm also financially invested already. I have about $100,000 plus into the game to spend on the different planning, like civil engineering plan, architect. I also ordered the feasibility study for my hotel through the bank. We just got it 2 days ago, and it came out really good. We also have several money invested on the land as an earnest money, and all the money I put in the land to purchase the Kim and Ronald is non-refundable, hard earnest money. So if I walk out, I will lose pretty much $50,000 right now, and I don't have that kind of money to lose. So I'm very serious. It's just taking time because I just want you to understand, it's not a small project. I'm looking anywhere from $10 million to about $25 million investment in next 5 years. So I want to make sure whatever I do, it fits what city is wanting and it will be successful. So that's why it's just taking longer than I have anticipated. Because I'm also running into some challenges to convince some of the big brands to come into Russell Spring, because they all have the same question that we want to see other development come first. Why would we go first? So I'm just trying to overcome that. And if you guys have any question for me, if you guys want to know more, I would love to, answer any questions.
Y'all speak. We
I think we
tried
should
to,
start tomorrow,
we,
myself.
Chintu, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, as far as the hotel, you're looking at, from breaking ground, what, 15 to 18 months?
Pretty much.
That's correct on completion?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, it's nothing that's gonna be, we're not gonna wake up in a month and have everything done. So it is a long, drawn
Once I
out
break the
process.
ground, normal timeline we get from the hotel is about 12 to 15 month construction period. And because we are getting into a fall and winter, and there is a lot work to be done just to bring the site to be ready to build a hotel or any other project, it will easily take about 3 to 6 months because the large number of grounds that I have. But as I said, we have everything in the plan. The biggest thing we had was how to lay out the project, which today my civil engineer has laid out the project. I forwarded to Jeremy today. He can share with you, how we are laying out the hotel and, the other project. But there is most likely probably for the hotel looking to break the ground sometime in February, March, depending on the weather. But that's my, overall goal for the breaking ground.
As far as employment, what do you anticipate employment for the hotel and the truck stop convenience store? Just a guess on what kind of employment that will be for the city.
Anywhere around 50 to 60 employees that will be hired between the truck stop and hotel alone. If I get an approval to build a dining restaurant, which I'm right now, I'm in a serious talk with Chili's, Applebee's, and TGI Friday. My first choice will be Chili's. So if I bring that restaurant, that will add another 20 to 30 full-time and part-time employees.
Anyone have any questions or comments?
It excites me, that's all I know.
I'm excited to bring this to the community. As I said, I've been here doing business as a Subway for last 9 years, and
There's been a lot of people interested in what's going on, and maybe this will clear it up a little bit
Yes.
for them, and we won't have to answer.
yes,
Put them off so much.
You really exist. You're not just,
He's not a unicorn.
he's not a
He is not a
unicorn. It's not
unicorn.
something that Jeremy made up,
He is not a unicorn. Me and Jeremy have worked,
yeah, they've been in pretty close touch. I guess Jeremy and Eric both visited many of my businesses in Indianapolis. They wanted to see that I'm a real deal.
Yeah.
we have worked for right at 6 months and a little before that, so that's our job. But hopefully everything will come and develop. It's one of those things that Rome wasn't built in a day. And like Chintu said, it's going to be in phases.
But
So
just knowing
it's,
that it's that close
It's,
is really.
so
feels
the
good.
community after tonight, or especially after tomorrow, after the news, will be well aware of what's going on and what's going to be in the future for the city of Russell Springs. So very, very exciting day.
Been long for a while.
Yeah.
It is needed, yes it is.
Now,
Wow.
listen, Joe Michael, when the Dunkin'
Will
Donuts
you,
come in,
do us a
y'all.
favor and
send
put
them
Dunkin'
around.
Donuts off limits, please?
They may even give you a free donut.
We may get a substation.
Anyone else have anything for Mr. Patel? And thank you very much
Thank you
for
for coming.
coming.
I would like to ask a question.
Yes.
I hate to,
You've always got a question. don't you,
I
Joe?
know, well, it might put you on the spot, but it's been such a controversial issue. Does the legalization of alcohol, does that made the conditions, better for getting this kind of thing, or?
It helps a little bit, mainly for the hotels,
Right.
because the brand that I'm trying to bring to the Russell Spring, they're all looking for a full-blown menu for their guests
Right.
who coming and staying at the hotel. They like to go out at night when they check into the nice dining restaurant and have a bar or liquor, spend some time and relax and all that. So yes, it helps a lot. It would be a little bit different if it's a dry county, for sure.
I figured as much, and I hate to put you in that position, but.
Yeah, no, it always helps.
It's also an important issue here.
Yeah, and I would not be able to bring any full dining restaurant because none of the restaurant that I'm looking that does restaurant without bar. So Chili's or TGI, the majority of their business is in alcohol, and the bar. So, I'm glad that you guys have alcohol for me.
Anyone else have any questions for Mr. Patel? He is real. He is real, live and in color. Anyone else have anything they want to bring before the council? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we will adjourn.
Motion's been made. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor signifying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.